Everybody, Zach again at newtutor.com. Wanted to come in and do a quick video. I get emails all the time. I wouldn't say all the time, but throughout the last year or so, I've been getting emails. And even in the last few months, they've been kind of going on an uptick about a certain subject, and that's this whole Arius Calpurnius Piso. And Arius Calpurnius Piso, they claim, is the guy who wrote the New Testament, and that this guy was, who had a bunch of people fooled and believing in this whole Jesus guy. And because we're in this thing we're doing right now on my blog, Defending Messiah Week, Part 3, or actually Part 5, I think is what this is now, we wanted to go ahead and do this video because I do get questions about this. And people come to me and say, hey, have you seen this information about this Arius Calpurnius Piso? And is it true? Because there are some people out there who are believing in this, and a lot of folks who have clung on to this idea that the Messiah is not real, and this guy named Yeshua has no validity to his claim on the throne of David. And so we're trying to figure out, what's real, what's not. They're clinging on to this thing, and they're saying, well, this just seems true. Maybe the whole New Testament is made up. Maybe there was no Jesus. Maybe this was all just a big giant Roman joke. And the reality is, you can go back and research this. If for those of you who are not familiar, the claim is that a guy named Arius Calpurnius Piso wrote the New Testament, that he belonged to a family by the name of Piso who were Roman aristocrats back during the time of our Messiah and shortly thereafterwards. Some of these were members of the Roman Senate. They were real high up there along with Caesar, and they played a big part in Roman politics. And the idea is that there was a man named Arius Calpurnius Piso who was a conquering general during the fall of Jerusalem in 70 AD, and he sacked Jerusalem and then wrote the New Testament as a joke to bring back to the people who he enslaved, some of these new first century Christians, and that this whole New Testament is a joke, and that it goes on from there. Well, a quick study of this will show you real quick that a man named Arius Calpurnius Piso was not involved at all in the conquering of Jerusalem in 70 AD. That battle, he was not a general. The generals who were leading that campaign were Titus and a man named Tiberius Julius Alexander, if I'm correct. And those two, Titus being first in command and Alexander being second in command, conquered Jerusalem under the orders of Caesar in Rome. And so if you go back and you do the research on the fall of Jerusalem in 70 AD, there's not any mention at all whatsoever of an Arius Calpurnius Piso. It just doesn't exist. The guy's name doesn't exist. And if you dig deeper, you will find that in no Latin or Greek text, manuscript, codex, scroll, papyrus, anything, is the name Arius Calpurnius Piso. It doesn't exist. There was a family in Rome, some aristocrats named Piso, but Arius Calpurnius Piso is not in any manuscript of antiquity at all. It doesn't exist. In fact, there have been quotes from scholars who have been presented this information saying, hey, have you ever heard of this Arius Calpurnius Piso? And they're like, no, this guy doesn't exist. There's no evidence whatsoever that a man named Arius Calpurnius Piso ever walked the face of the earth. Just doesn't exist. So where does the theory come from? Well, it seems like from people who have researched this online, and you can do your own research, that this whole theory, whole fraud, started to appear in the 1980s. When internet billboards became popular, it seemed like that there were some atheists out there who didn't believe in God, were going to play a big joke, and they put this on the internet billboards. If you remember, internet billboards were the beginning of the internet, basically, where you could go and post things. And that started about the 1980s, and by the time the 1990s rolled around, mid-1990s, you had the Angel Fire websites, which allowed people to open up free websites, and that the whole theory merged from the billboards over to the Angel Fire sites, and now you have it on YouTube and all kinds of other websites that are out there that are promoting this theory, and most of them, almost all of them, are promoted by atheists. And some of these people who have denied Messiah, amongst believers of God and of Torah, have clung on to this and are buying into it and using it as ammo that, oh yeah, this whole Messiah thing, Yeshua, that's all this Arius Calpurnius Piso. He wrote that there's no such thing as Messiah. And so this needs to be addressed. This needs to be, I get these emails from time to time where people say, Zach, have you researched this? Is this true? No, it's not. There's no evidence whatsoever anywhere of an Arius Calpurnius Piso. There's just not. So I want to make this quick video. I wanted to because I'm going to use this video later. Every time I get an email that from someone who says, hey, have you seen this? I'm going to send this video to them and say, hey, no, there is no such thing as an Arius Calpurnius Piso. The guy never existed. There's no mention of him in any Latin or Greek text anywhere throughout antiquity. It just doesn't exist. And so, folks, when you hear this stuff, you need to calm down, number one. You need to go and research something and do it with a sound and open mind and with some understanding that not everything you believe you see on the internet might be real. This can be basically obliterated real quick by just seeing who were the conquering generals of Jerusalem in 70 AD. Arius Calpurnius Piso was not among them. If he was a conquering general, his name would have been mentioned somewhere, someplace, and it's just not. So, folks, disproving Arius Calpurnius Piso is a piece of cake. Go home and read your Bible.